3 messages. From God to you: the Torah, the Bible, and the Quran. Part 2. The Creator and His Messengers. The invisible creatures of God. 1. God created angels from light. Angels are invisible creatures or celestial beings that do God's will and carry out God's tasks, such as managing certain functions in the universe. Angels are God's soldiers. They worship Him and they are dedicated for Him. See Psalm 103:20, Matthew 26:53. Angels are mentioned in the Bible from the book of Genesis to the book of Revelation. Psalm 91:11, Matthew 18:10, and Acts 12:15 indicate humans have guardian angels. Matthew 13:49 indicates that angels will separate the wicked from the just on the last day. In the Torah, the term Malach Elohim refers to angels and supernatural messengers of God. It is interesting to know that the word Malach in Arabic means angel. The archangel is called Gabriel or the Holy Spirit. He is in charge of conveying God's message to His messengers. He also appeared to Mary for the Annunciation that she would be the mother of Jesus. Muslims believe that Archangel Gabriel revealed the final message of God, the Quran, to Muhammad over a period of 23 years. Gabriel appeared to him in his actual shape and in the shape of a man. Other angels recognized in Islam are Azrael, the angel of death, Michael, the angel in charge of nature, and Israfil, the angel who will blow the trumpet to announce the day of resurrection. 2. God created genies from a smokeless flame of fire. Genies or jinns are mentioned in the Quran. They are invisible creatures of God. However, they can make themselves visible to human beings. Unlike angels, they can be good or bad, believers or unbelievers in God. Those who are evil are called devils. Satan is from the jinns and his followers and soldiers are devils. N.B. If you do not believe in angels and genies, see next page for other invisible creatures of God. 3. Other invisible creatures of God. Whether or not you believe in angels or genies, God created many things that we cannot see with our naked eyes. Human beings cannot see electromagnetic waves, wireless communication waves, radio waves, electric currents, and many more things. Light at wavelengths in the visual spectrum. Other wavelengths, such as infrared and ultraviolet, can only be visible when special tools are used. The visible creatures of God. God is the creator of all beings. He is the originator and the fashioner of all creatures. He created the earth and all that is in it. He gave metals and minerals their specific characteristics. He created plants and all species in countless types and numbers. Zoologists have identified and recorded 31,153 species of fish, 8,734 species of reptiles, 9,990 species of birds, 6,515 species of amphibians, 5,487 species of mammals, and about 900,000 species of insects. However, scientists estimate that there could be hundreds of thousands of species waiting to be discovered. Numbers quoted according to 2009 report. The interdependence of creatures. God created nature in perfect equilibrium. However, man is hurting nature and polluting the environment, causing the extinction of many species. There is divine absolute wisdom behind the creation of every being. God created interdependence among His creatures. Scientists define ecology as the branch of biology concerned with the relations between organisms and their environment. An ecosystem is a group of interconnected elements, formed by the interaction of a community of organisms with their environment. Species in an ecosystem each have a role in keeping the ecosystem running in a smooth balance. For example, predators keep the population of mice under control, insects pollinate flowers, and worms decompose leaf litter. All species are important to help keep the ecosystem balanced. Ecological balance describes how ecosystems are organized in a state of stability where species coexist with other species in their environment. Some strange creatures of God. Bombardier Beetle. This insect is one of the strangest insects in the world. When threatened, it shoots boiling hot chemicals from its belly up to 70 times in less than a fraction of a second. The liquid is a combination of hydrogen peroxide and hydroquinone, which join together to cause a chemical reaction that generates a loud popping sound with a continuous shooting of the chemicals. In Judaism, the name of God is a word of 4 letters. Hydroquinone is a derivative of benzene, chemical formula CH-OH. The liquid can be fatal to small insects or creatures and very painful to humans. You can watch this incredible insect on the following link. Evolution theories cannot explain the extraordinary structure of this insect. The Bombardier Beetle needs all of its parts at once. It is created fully formed as it is. Praying Mantis. It is named Praying Mantis for its prominent front legs, which are bent and held together at an angle that suggests the position of prayer. By any name, these fascinating insects are formidable predators. They have triangular heads poised on a long neck, or elongated thorax. They can turn their heads 180 degrees to scan their surroundings with 2 large compound eyes and 3 other simple eyes located between them. But strangely, the praying mantis has just a single ear, located on the underside of its belly. The mantises or Mantonia are an order of insects that contains over 2,400 species and about 430 genera in 15 families. Mantis shrimp. The mantis shrimp, which is neither a mantis nor a shrimp, but a crustacean that resembles both, has arguably the most complicated visual system of any animal on the earth. Its compound eyes sit on independently moving stalks and can see colors ranging from ultraviolet to infrared. Each eye is divided into 3 regions for tracking motion, forms, depth and color. Their eyes are compound, like those of the dragonfly, although they have a far smaller number of ommatidia, about 10,000 lenses per eye. However, in the mantis shrimp each ommatidia row has a particular function. For example, some of them are used to detect light, others to detect color, etc. Mantis shrimp have much better color vision than humans. Their eyes have 12 types of color receptors, where human beings have only 3. In addition to their ability to see ultraviolet and infrared colors, they have polarized light vision. Common light sources, like the sun or a candle flame, do not emit polarized light, but when light from these sources shines on a polarizing filter, the transmitted light is polarized. For example, sunlight shining on a filter, such as that used in Polaroid sunglasses, becomes polarized light when transmitted. When unpolarized light is transmitted through a Polaroid filter, it emerges with 1/2 the intensity and with vibrations in a single plane. It emerges as polarized light. A Polaroid filter is able to polarize light because of the chemical composition of the filter material. Not all insects are described and identified, but the following have been defined and described in the U.S. 19,600 types of flies, 23,700 types of beetles, 17,500 types of ants, bees, and wasps, 11,500 types of moths and butterflies. It is estimated there are 30,000 species of fly in Australia, of which only 7,000 have been described. The housefly. Out of the 900,000 types of insects, there are more than 120,000 species of flies worldwide. You could spend your whole life looking at different kinds of insects and never see them all. Let us look at the housefly anatomy. The body of a fly, like other insects, has 3 parts: thorax, abdomen, and head. It has a hard exoskeleton that protects it from moisture loss. The fly's thorax features all of its limbs used for movement. It has 3 pairs of legs and 1 pair of wings. Scientifically, flies are of the dipteral group, i.e. insects with 1 pair of main wings. However, houseflies have tiny, secondary wings, called halters, located below the main pair of wings. The halters are mainly used to achieve balance. They can fly up and down, side to side, and even backwards. The common housefly can travel with a flying speed of 7.2 kilometers per hour. Its wings beat 20,000 times per minute. The fly has 6 legs. Each leg is made of 5 segments, which include hairy, sticky feet that can stick to almost any surface. They can even walk across ceilings. Also, the fly uses the hairs on its legs and body to taste and smell. The head of the fly contains the eyes, antennae, and mouth parts. Houseflies depend on their keen sense of smell, provided by their antennae. For tasting and consuming meals, the insect uses its proboscis, a plunger-like appendage that extends from the bottom of the head. 2 small, antenna-like feelers called maxillary palps allow the fly to taste its food. For tasting and consuming meals, the insect uses its proboscis, a plunger-like appendage that extends from the bottom of the head. 2 small, antenna-like feelers called maxillary palps allow the fly to taste it. The adult fly lives for an average of 3 weeks. The female fly may lay as many as 21 batches of offspring, each containing up to 130 eggs. Houseflies defecate every couple of minutes. Houseflies are active during the day and rest during the night. The common fly has no mouth, but instead an eating tube. It vomits a drop of fluid from its stomach and deposits it on part of its meal to liquefy it. This fluid is then sucked up along with the nutrients it has dissolved, leaving behind untold numbers of germs. The fly has 2 compound eyes, which are the most complex in the insect world, allowing them to see a significant radius around their body. Each eye has 4,000 separate lenses, which provide wide-angle vision that is in fact omnidirectional. This makes flies difficult to surprise or swat. The latest state-of-the-art technology cannot create a robot fly weighing 1 gram. It cannot create a robot that can reproduce or spawn similar robots without raw material. Also, it is impossible to copy the flying mechanism in such a small size. It would require a power supply and wings with many hinges and small bolts. The creation of the fly is really miraculous and inspires us to reflect on the power of the creator who made it. How difficult is to make a robot similar to a fly? Oh people! An example is presented to you, so listen carefully to it. Indeed, those you appeal to besides God will never create as much as a fly, even if they gathered together for that purpose. And if the fly should snatch away from the tiny thing, they would not be able to recover it from it. Weak are the pursuer and pursued. Quran 22:73. End notes. The human hearing range describes the range of frequencies that can be heard by humans, which is commonly given as 20 to 20,000 Hz. Several animal species are able to hear frequencies well beyond the human hearing range. Some dolphins and bats, for example, can hear frequencies up to 100 kHz. Elephants can hear sounds at 14, 16 Hz, while some whales can hear subsonic sounds as low as 7 Hz in water. Salmon sense the Earth's magnetic field to guide them home. Bees can sense the electric field of a flower and use it to find pollen. Mantis shrimp swing their arm out at 80 km/h when they punch, which is about the same acceleration as a .22 caliber bullet. Elephants can lift almost 300 kilograms with their trunk. Dung beetles can pull over 1,000 times their body weight. This is similar to an 80 kilograms man pulling 80,000 kilograms. Dragon millipedes can shoot cyanide at their predators. Geckos and lizards can regrow lost tails. Geckos can walk up walls and windows due to electrostatic forces between thousands of tiny hairs on their feet and the surface. Swifts, family of highly aerial birds, have been known to fly non-stop for nearly 200 days. Electric eels can generate electric shocks up to 600 volts. The horned lizard can shoot blood from its eye. Some insects, such as gerridae, water striders, are able to walk on the surface of water. Butterflies taste food by standing on top of it. Their taste receptors are in their feet. Interesting facts about mosquitoes. There are more than 3,000 species of mosquitoes. It is interesting to know that only female mosquitoes bite. Male mosquitoes have shorter lives and less complicated mouthparts than females. They both feed mainly on fruit and plant nectar. However, female mosquitoes need the protein in blood to help their eggs develop. A mosquito can suck blood 3 times its weight and can lay up to 200 eggs. Mosquitoes have antennae that detect the carbon dioxide released when people or animals exhale. They also use heat sensors to detect the warmth of the body. Mosquitoes prefer O-type blood in victims with high body heat. The female mosquito has 6 mouthparts besides the labium, which is like the lower lip. 4 mouthparts are used for piercing the skin and locating the blood capillary underneath, the mandibles that have pin ends, and the maxillae that are toothed blades used to cut the skin. The other 2 mouthparts are tubes. One is used to pump saliva with anticoagulant to prevent blood clotting, and the other one, called the labrum, is used to suck the blood. This amazing mechanism is available in an insect that weighs less than 2.5 milligrams. Mosquitoes cause more deaths than any other animal in the world. They are carriers of diseases, including malaria, dengue fever, and yellow fever, which can be transmitted to humans and animals when the mosquito feeds on blood. The following verse in the Quran invites you to reflect on the miraculous creation of this tiny insect. God does not disdain, or not ashamed, to coin the similitude even of a mosquito or anything that should surpass it in smallness or greatness. Those who believe know that it is the truth from their Lord, but those who disbelieved say, what does God intend by giving such an example? He misleads many by it, and he guides many by it, but he does not mislead by it except the defiantly disobedient. Quran 2:26. Muhammad said, my similitude in comparison with the other prophets before me is that of a man who has built and completed a house except for a place of one missing brick. When people see the house, they admire its beauty and say, how splendid the house will be if the missing brick is put in its place. So I am the brick, and I am the last of the prophets. Narrated by Bukhari 4.734, 4.735.